early 2026. We're now a little over 4 years past the delivery of the final A380, which took place in mid-December 2021. As many will already know, the pandemic, which mainly started in 2020, brought with it a great deal of uncertainty for Airbus's double-decker Super Jumbo, and this prompted many airlines to park their A380s for good that year. But some airlines have reactivated their old airframes, with carriers like Emirates desperate to operate the type for as long as is economically possible. On the other end of the commercial aviation spectrum is startup Global Airlines, which is still hoping to build a fleet of A380s for premium long-haul travel. So let's take a look at the state of the Super Jumbo as of early 2026, largely covering significant news over the past year. Well, according to aircraft database website planespotters.net and its A380 production list, there are about 146 airframes listed as active. With this status, there is no doubt of their, active status. However, there are a few other categories for A380s which could see other airframes returning to service soon, either after refurbishment, routine maintenance, or reactivation work. Indeed, 31 are listed as parked, with these airframes listed as being with airlines like Emirates, British Airways, Lufthansa and more. There's a good chance they'll return to the skies after having work completed. As a result, we can safely say that about 177 airframes are more or less operational. It's also worth mentioning that there are another 26 listed as stored, and these include airframes from active operators like Qatar Airways and Singapore Airlines. The same stored category unfortunately also includes A380s still under the care of airlines like Thai Airways and Air France, operators that we are certain will not bring back the Super Jumbo. Going over the handful of airlines who use the jet for regular commercial service, we can see that Emirates remains the world's largest operator. At the moment, the Dubai carrier has 116 airframes in total, with 96 active and 20 parked. As reported by Aviation Week in late 2025, airline president Sir Tim Clark wants to bring the number of active Super Jumbos up to around 110 by the end of 2026. Even more good news is that Clark wants to roll out redesigned and self-manufactured A380 interiors across all cabins over the next 3 years. Speaking to Aviation Week on the sidelines of the recent APG World Connect conference, Clark told the media outlet, "I've still got issues with some of the aircraft that we have to fix. By the end of next year, we'll probably have about 110 flying." Clark declined to specify what these issues were, although we would guess it has to do with acquiring certain parts. Also in November 2025, Emirates announced that its retrofit program was entering its next phase, with 60 A380s lined up to receive the airline's latest cabin innovations. The carrier said that starting from August 2026, the airline will introduce a host of new onboard products alongside a next-generation fully immersive in-flight entertainment system and upgraded Wi-Fi connectivity with Starlink on these aircraft as part of its extensive fleet modernization efforts. Emirates Engineering, working with partners Airbus, Safran, Recaro, Panasonic, Starlink and UUDS, will introduce the latest seating designs and a new onboard lounge on 60 Super Jumbos, paired with Panasonic's advanced Astrover in-flight entertainment system to deliver an elevated and consistent passenger experience. With such investments, it's a strong reminder that Emirates really does want to keep its Super Jumbos active for as long as possible. Next, let's go over the A380s from Australian carrier Qantas. The airline has 10 airframes active after retiring 2. In December 2025, Qantas welcomed its 10th and final A380 back to Sydney after nearly 6 years in storage, marking the largest maintenance check in the airline's 105-year history. The celebration of this A380's return to service was short-lived. Indeed, the jet was grounded in Los Angeles after wing damage was discovered performing its first passenger flight. Operating a flight from Sydney, passengers noticed visible damage to a slat on the left wing during the 13-hour journey. Reports indicate that the slat had experienced delamination, the separation of layers in multi-layered material like composites or laminates, often due to failure of the adhesive or binding agent holding them together. Planespotters.net data indicates that the airframe also suffered multiple systems failures on the same flight. After being grounded for a little over a month at LAX, it returned to service on January 18th. No problems have been reported since, although it's still relatively early days for this particular airframe. Over in Germany, Lufthansa has 8 A380s in its fleet. 6 are currently active, while 2 are parked. The airline has already retired 6 other super jumbos. In late 2025, it was reported that Lufthansa CEO Carsten Spohr said that A380 operations would be extended for 5 years plus. A spokesperson added more detail, telling us, "It's a great aircraft, our customers love it. We are now upgrading the aircraft again with new all-access business class seats. We will definitely be seeing the A380 for a few more years, certainly into the next decade." Of the 24 ordered by Singapore Airlines, 12 have exited the fleet, with 50% remaining. Currently, 10 are active and 2 are parked. Singapore Airlines unveiled an ambitious A380 cabin refit program in November 2017. The pandemic would prompt the delay of this program, but 2023 saw the last of 12 A380s refurbished. British Airways, like Singapore Airlines, has 12 A380s with 10 active and 2 parked. The airline began retrofitting its A380 interiors in the second half of 2025, and the first of these jets is expected to take to the skies in mid-2026. Over in South Korea, Korean Air has 6 airframes, while Asiana, which still operates as a separate entity despite being acquired by Korean, also operates 6. Korean was going to retire the type in 2026, but announced in early 2025 that this move was being postponed due to the surge in air travel demand. Next door in Japan, ANA still operates all 3 of its turtle-liveried A380s with dedicated service to Hawaii. Over in the Middle East, Qatar Airways has 8 active airframes with 2 retired, while Etihad has 9 airframes in the fleet, 7 currently active and 2 parked. This is actually an increase in A380 fleet size compared to a year ago. That's because in August 2025, the carrier had confirmed that 2 more of its Airbus A380 aircraft were returning to service by early 2027, bringing the total number of active super jumbos in the fleet to 9. While Emirates has its first-class shower spas, Etihad remains the standout airline for offering a product seemingly beyond or above first class in the form of its Residence Suite. As we've covered in previous videos, the Residence is a multi-room suite for up to 2 guests on board the A380. The 1 or 2 passengers booking this suite will have their own private bedroom, an ensuite shower room, and a separate living area. And finally, we can't end the video without a quick mention of global airlines. When we spoke to the airline CEO, James Asquith, in late 2025, he revealed that the giant aircraft is due to undertake a major 12-year check, also known as a D-check, in the near future. But the airline chief revealed to us that finding a slot for the check has been the main roadblock, saying, "We're privy to huge backlogs in heavy maintenance slots for the aircraft. You'll be hearing pretty shortly about the next movements for 9 Hotel Golf Lima Oscar Bravo Lima. As much as I wish I could snap my fingers and conduct 12-year checks on an A380, we're only privy to what the industry allows us to do." At the time of making this video, the airframe has been at Tarbes, France since July 16, 2025. The airline still wants more A380s, but continues to have just the 1. So, what are your thoughts on the state of the A380 as of early 2026? Let us know by leaving a comment. In addition to our daily YouTube videos, Simple Flying publishes over 150 articles and a podcast every week. Visit simpleflying.com.